Il y a une femme blonde dans ma tête, elle a entré toute nue dans ma vie. Elle est si belle, cette femme fatale. Moi j'ai perdu mon porte-monnaie. Sorry about this. This is a song. By Ernesto, a Swiss guy I met once through a very nice friend. I don't call people friends, or I'm getting used to it, because I don't like calling people stuff like sir or mister or doctor or officer or president or your majesty or uh, sire or my leash or my leash, leash, as in the thing you have around the neck that goes up to the guy who thinks you're a dog. I don't really like that. But anyway, Ernesto from Switzerland, he made this very beautiful song. Il y a une femme blonde dans ma tête. Da dee dee da. You must excuse me for the words that are missing. Missing. Ba da 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 da. Ba da 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 ba da 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 da. Ba da 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 da. Ah. Ba da 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 da. Ba da 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 ba da da da. Ba. Elle est si belle, cette femme fatale. Moi j'ai perdu mon porte-monnaie. And this just buggers me that it's still running. So sorry, I'm getting slow. This is becoming a very long video. But at least I didn't tell you up front what I was going to say. Today's video, I'm going to tell you what you're going to hear in a few minutes, but I just wanted to waste some seconds or minutes telling you about it up front beforehand so that you could brace yourself for whatever it is, I imagine. Where was I? It buggers me that so much music is lost to the big, it's bought up by a big company called Oblivion. Registered trademark. I'll sue your ass if you as much as mention it. Anywhere. Even accidentally. And I'll put a banana peel on the pavement, and if you slip in it, I'll sue you for fucking injuring my banana peel. And then you can appeal, but it's not going to be an appeal. Sue SA. Sue Studio. Never mind. It buggers me that so much. It buggers me. It buggers me that so much music is lost to the company Oblivion. Trademark, simplified, and complified. It's lost in the wave of nowness as being, I could recognize Beethoven in the Beatles and Mozart in Elton John, uh, but these days all I can recognize is, the number of chords is about four, the notes in the melody is about five, and the variation is about zero in the A part. It's like this. And then you must, or you can, or must imagine some kind of like if it goes it's all going on all the time. And then the singer comes in with this sort of hurt voice, like his father just beat him up 177 times. And it goes like this. When I was hurt, when they hurt, when they hurt, when they... I heard what you say, what you say, what you say. And there's another day, another day, another day. I believe there's another way, another way, another way, another way. Whole another way, cause. And then there comes the B part. And the same chords going on. Same chords. But then, it's the only tension in the composition as such is that change between not the chords, they stay the same, but the B part has a different melody on the same chords, right? So it goes in. And it's about to go right. Little bubble, and that's all. It's and it's all. It started with the you know there was this band that made a recording of a medley of hit songs, all going on the same chords, and it's the same as this, just a different start point. It's like maybe a different sequence. Time after time, sexual healing. It's all that, And they just, I think they did. You can look it up. Band does. Google band does. Band plays uh, hits on same chords. It's not. This is not astrology or astronomy or rocket science, that's what they say. This is not rocket science. You just Google what you want to know. And by the way, now that I'm sidetracking myself, I'd like to say that, Google it, right? Or Yahoo it if you want to know that Gwen Stefani is a really hot number. But well, she is, by the way, but not in terms of search machines. She's really, magnificent. I mean, this woman has made such great music. Gwen Stefani rocks. She's she's charming. She's beautiful in a way that's not, making me gasp. But I can clearly see that she's a number 10 out of 10. I can see that. It's like, Michelle Pfeiffer is not my kind, but I can see that she's got a symmetric face and all that. I just don't turn on. In fact, I think Gwen Stefani turns me way much more on. But that may be because of her brilliance in the mind. When people have a mind that lights up their faces from within, it kind of makes them attractive. by the way, Happy New Year. Ah, ah. You must excuse me. I'm lying down and I'm a little bit like, because there's New Year's Eve. What was I getting at? All the music that's lost in translation, in transfiction, and the music of the now, which is going with these repetitive chords, and then the A and the B part, all the differences been made by producers going, on the drums are gonna be a little tougher there in the B part, in the A part, and then in the B part. Oh my God, too much information. It started exactly in the year 1976. It started with everybody putting on drums like boom, 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 boom. And one of the first things I thought was, okay, this is to make sure that people without real sense of rhythm can still feel that this is their, home place, because it's really not that difficult, right? Not that difficult. Not that difficult. I mean, we had this in Denmark. We have this Gunnar Nu Hansen. He actually accidentally, this sadly, made a recording of rap. And he was going like da 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 da. Da da da. No, 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 not da da. No, never, ever. No, too much syncopation, too much. Um, By minha tristeza diz a ela que se ela não pode ser, diz-la numa prece que ela regresse, porque eu não posso mais sofrer. Chega de. Never mind, I'm still drunk. But never mind, this syncopation, syncopating. I'm not English. But syncopation. I think it's that syncopation. You go that when you don't just go. You go, or maybe. Sorry. Instead of ich habe ein Name, ich weiß nicht, was sollst bedeuten, wenn du nicht mein Name mich wollst. Ich habe dich nicht go. Ach, weg, 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 Stame und Stick, 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 Fleck. Instead of that kind of rhythm, we have tristeza não te fiz. And in German that would be tristeza não te fiz. Felicidade sim. See, syncope, that's what we call it in Danish, is when the rhythm is not 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is the rhythm is 1, 2, and 4, and 1, and 2, and the best example is the salsa, where the bass is going 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, I never tried this before. I can't do it. Anyway, it goes. You see, the bass is only on beat, the first one. Next is going at da 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 da. Hip dich nicht, du lieb mich nicht. Where was I? Anyway, that was a sidetrack of the North German music. And what was it? Where was I? What was I getting at? Yeah, the buggerism of lost music. Katie Melua once said in an interview that she was afraid that music might someday run out. So I made a calculation. 4 notes per line, like that's line 1, and then line 2, and line 3, and then line 4, right? It's like the melody of Big Ben, right? And with that setup, you have millions of possibilities. Then if you start like, or you start, oh, and then maybe on top of that you can go, and Thelonious Monk comes in, yeah. Ba, 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 so when music runs out, and when people start looking for, saws and bows, and trash cans to hit, that's when the musical imagination has come to an end, and we start thinking of production, like when rappers and DJs cut together what is already there because they don't have the experience of creating something with an instrument that is not different but different like this. Or like the Pink Floyd classic. I gotta show you this. Pink Floyd. Uh, uh, I can't remember the name. Run, run, rabbit, run. Dig that hole, forget the sun. And when at last the job is done, don't sit down. I hear Luther speaking, Martin Luther. It's time to dig another one. Long you live, high you fly. And listen now, the chords. Ba da 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 da. So that was da 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 and that is actually a novelty in music in some way. Of course, the chords used have been used other, but that's what I mean by being original. Being interested being interested enough in the music as such to not need the sound of of an exotic instrument. I'm talking about this because I am the idiot from which all of this, I mean, everything evil or good in this is right here. But I could resort to let's have some mandolins, and I was very happy about Cat Stevens and Joni Mitchell and their instrumentations and the chords and Irish folk music. And I'm not so hot on what do they call them? Saxophones, um, uh, horns, winds. You call them winds because I feel like it's too hard to control something that is so much like your voice because it's relying on your breath, but it's yet not your voice. So, I mean, my fingers can control a string and make it go. I find it hard enough to control my voice and say, and then you have instead of your voice, you have maybe one or two pieces of bamboo tied to a pipe, and you blow there, and you're supposed to control that even better than your voice. I don't think so, and that is why it sounds so ugly most of the time, and that's why I'm not a fan of horns. Even with the trumpet, where instead of your vocal cords, you use your lips, and then you amplify that with the instrument, right? And also determine that because of the pipe and the vibration of that much air, and that much air, you can control the tone with your whatever you have out there on a saxophone or trumpet. But it's still not your vocal cords, which are pretty hard to control. No, this time it's your lips. You have to. It's like learning a new language when you're about too old to do that, and then you learn to, which is very much easier when you're wet all over and your face is when you're in the shower and your lips and everything is wet. You can really play trumpet without the thing, but it's extremely hard to hit the note. So it's just like winds, horns, saxophones, and all that. I'm not a fan of those because they are the sound of them are sounds of them are useful in certain situations. Like think about bolero or whatever. But as sounds of quality, I like the piano, the guitar. The guitar is actually both a piano and a saxophone because you can control the string. You can leave it and it goes ding, but you can pull it and it goes ding. And you have this whammer bar on L guitars, electric guitars, and you can go bing. And of course, Jimi Hendrix showed us that uh, just before he died. 3 years before he died, he recorded some LPs and showed us how the voice and the guitar, the composition and the lyrics can become closer to one and closer to oneself and closer to nature and closer to everything relevant. Actually, that's my that's what I got out of Jimi Hendrix is when there is a real genius like him or like Stevie Wonder or Prince or um, what's she called? Oh, there's so many. Joni Mitchell and also April Lavigne, I believe she's quite up there. Van Morrison, George Benson, the Beatles. The list goes on because then you expand on the genius and the core in your mind and say, okay, that's a side of the genius and the whole artwork of it. One thing before I finish this longevity of video, I think that the commercial principle has made music simpler because who spends money? People without experience, wisdom, knowledge, intelligence. Because when you're intelligent, you don't spend money, you don't buy a car to tell your neighbor that you think you're better than your neighbor. You just go over and ring a bell and say, hey, I got this I got this thing, I think I'm better than you. That is also facing, right? Instead of building a car that costs $1 million and just putting it there and telling him again and again you think you're better, you could actually face what he would say to you. Say, oh, you do you? Well, I have the feeling, the same kind of feeling with you. I think sometimes I'm better than you, but that's not something that I'd make a big thing out of because we're crazy, huh? And then you'll find out, oh, yeah, oh, my neighbor is not really into competitive. What is it called? Sammenligning, competitive comparison. Instead, my neighbor is into having a good life, and he doesn't care if I have a few dollars more than he has. So maybe there's another point to life than just showing off to people who don't even bother to watch. Are you still with me? They don't bother to watch. When you brag, when you burst, when you show off, nobody gives a shit. The few people of whom they give a shit are the few people who are presidents. Huh. How many presidents? I guess in the 330 million people in the US there's about one president. So, oh, I rest my corpse and case. Thank you very much and do the math. Please, please. It's not hard. It just takes a little bit of getting used to. Which you all know was fake. That was fake too.